Introduction. Over-tourism is a phenomenon faced by major tourist destinations around the world. The development of contemporary technologies, transportation infrastructure, population increase, style tendencies, and the emergence of low-cost air carriers have expanded the availability of travel and contributed to the growth of the tourism industry, including in emerging economies. Furthermore, rampant demand, along with the engagement of travelers in detailed directions, negatively impacts both territories and local neighborhoods. The continuous unchecked growth in the number of tourists in some tourist destinations and the uneven distribution of demand in tourist flows leads to damaging results. In addition, it forms the problem of excessive tourism, which is becoming increasingly important globally. Although the number of travelers has decreased significantly due to the pandemic, everything will come back later, and over-tourism will create specific problems. Actual problem. Cities with world-famous sites, cultural and historical monuments, and cruise tourism centers were the first to face this problem. Obtaining massive profits from staying travelers, they are encountering an individuality concern. They are increasingly wondering whether they can find such significant sources of income that are important not only for the economy but also for employment. The growth of tourism leads to the accumulation of many people around specific iconic places and attractions, in public places, on roads, and in public transport. As a result, the infrastructure of cities is constantly under enormous pressure. Pedestrian paths, bridges, and roads wear out quickly, and pollution of the local ecosystem increases, which falls under extreme tension. This likewise applies to power and water sources. Against the background of over-tourism, the quality of life of residents is deteriorating, and in some cities are displaced from urban centers. Living in a tourist city is becoming too expensive, including renting and buying housing, groceries, taxis, etc. Overcrowding of city streets and an increase in the number of commercial enterprises focused on visiting tourists are suppressing local business. They also worsen the unique atmosphere of tourist destinations and lead to pressure on people. Relations between the local population and tourists are deteriorating significantly. Residents of Japan do not like the way visitors behave, and the Japanese are especially concerned about the fact that foreigners shamelessly litter their cities. Residents of the former capital of Japan, Kyoto, suffer from overcrowding of public transport, city markets, as well as major tourist sites and shrines. The overcrowding of the city of Kyoto with tourists does not leave indifferent residents of the town, as well as local authorities. This is because tourists can disrupt the usual way of life of residents, as well as damage the infrastructure of the city. Conclusion. In conclusion, over-tourism does not contribute to the normal development of tourism in those regions that have been subjected to it. It instead leads to social and cultural degradation of the local population and accelerated destruction of nature. Currently, over-tourism is excluded due to the coronavirus pandemic, but this does not mean it will not happen again. When the tourist process is restored, the cities will again be crowded with tourists, and the locations and locals will suffer from foreign tourists. For some countries, such as Japan, excessive tourism is a significant problem, and the heads of state are working to solve this issue. Only responsible decisions in the field of tourism and recreation can prevent the repeating of the situation in the future. Everything you need for studies, essay samples, writing tools, and tips, you can find at studycorgi.com.